Welcome to Mixed Sips University. It is the last day of 2020, if you can believe that. It's December 31st, 2020. This has been a crazy year. So what better way to end it than with a video on a topic that I have promised. I promised this over 2 years ago, but hey, we're finally here. This year has been crazy. I have been on a break of sorts. I think pretty common in most places, but the hospitality industry has pretty much gone on pause, or it's been significantly reduced. So I've been filling my time with other things, including a move. So I'm now in a new place. But back to this video, I wanted to start a Mixed Sips University of sorts, and I will be covering from the basics to more esoteric topics, but we're going to start off with the basics today on a topic that blew my mind when I first made sense of everything, because I don't know, the rest of you, but I started off as a very inexperienced drinker, and I was more intrigued by the cool looking bottles and the colors of the drinks. That's why I wanted to become a bartender for all reasons. Not because I knew what drinks actually tasted like. I was late to the game in terms of getting exposed to alcohol and really tasty drinks. But now that I'm in that space and I have come to love how you can make things taste so good and just combine different ingredients to delight the taste buds, I can't get enough. So I want to share kind of like the basic premise of everything. And that is basically that when it comes to cocktails and mixology, all that we're really doing is making liquid recipes. And with any recipe, there's this notion of ratios and combining the right amount of ingredients with others to create a consistent and enjoyable flavor. So if you've got any experience in the kitchen, which most people do, even if it's making spaghetti or pouring a bowl of cereal, there's this notion of the right amount of dry, right amount of wet, right amount of letting it sit together, mixing it, applying heat if necessary. Everything comes down to recipes. And when there's a favorite dish that you like, or even peanut butter and jelly, for instance, some people can't stand when there's so much peanut butter that you need to drink a whole glass of juice to wash it down, It comes down to preference, of course. So sometimes some people do like a lot of peanut butter. Some people like to add bananas to their peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But at the end of the day, when you say I want a PB&J sandwich, bread, one side with peanut butter, one side with jelly, smash them together. So there's really no difference when it comes to cocktails and drinks. So that's the first thing that I wanted to put on the table, that all we're doing is making recipes, and they happen to be liquid. So the next thing, now that we know about recipes, is ratios, okay? This was something that was a little surprising to me. We'll have to edit this part out. I apologize. But when it comes to the recipes. Okay. When I started in class, all of our learning was on black and white pieces of paper and learning how to pour. That was like the very first lesson that we had. And I found that actually to be quite helpful. At least it drilled into my head that there's set amounts of ingredients going into these drinks, and after you put the right amount of ingredients into the cup, then you're just shaking it, stirring it, chilling it, mixing it in some kind of way for that particular recipe. So what I want to do, I will go to the props. If you're in a very casual setting, and I brought a clear one because I want you to be able to see what's inside, but we all know the red party cup. So much fun, so many memories, most likely from college. And then when you get a little older and you need to be sophisticated, you have the tumbler. Oh, these are so fancy, and you'll get a little cocktail straw and you stir it. Also reminiscent of college days. You probably first saw this in college, but you've got your lovely shot glass. This is when you just want to get her done. Make it quick. The good old shot glass. So that's where the drink goes, okay? I know for me, when I first started to drink, I didn't know how much liquor to actually put in this cup. The cup was so big. You just kind of eyeballed it. You just watched what the person next to you did. Sometimes your drink was good, sometimes it wasn't. Sometimes it tasted like straight rubbing alcohol, sometimes it just tasted like orange juice. And so you put in some more liquor. And then if you were unlucky, you were in the bathroom all night, or you woke up and you didn't know what happened. That, my friend, is when you didn't put the right amount in the cup. But what I want to show you is just how much you need to put in the cup for it to actually taste good and have the desired effect. I would say the effect that most people want, we're not going to talk about getting wasted at a party. I'm talking about you want to mellow out, chill out, relax, actually enjoy what you're drinking. It doesn't make your eyes like twitch or need like a chaser of juice to get that flavor out of your mouth. No, you want something that you can slowly sip, enjoy, feel satisfied after you're drinking it, right? Okay, so now getting back to these recipes and ratios, okay? And then we've got this other thing too. You see these, I filled this with water because I've already enjoyed this. This was for my Halloween costume, but you'll see these in the liquor store when you're on your way out. The little 50 milliliter bottles, they're usually like $3. And what's nice about these is you can have your liquor with you, a small amount. Maybe you want to try something new. Maybe you just want a small amount for a little quick occasion and you don't need a whole big bottle. So that's where they're helpful. But I'm going to use that. I'm going to show you something with that, and I think you'll enjoy it. So back to these cups and these props. Okay? I want you to see. Okay? Here, okay? I'm gonna take it to the marker board really fast. So we've got the solo cup, big party cup, polite tumbler, and then we've got our shot glass, okay? This shot glass is 1.5 to 2 ounces of actual liquor. When you pour it into either of these cups, you will be surprised to see, or you might not be surprised, you may have noticed already, but you barely are touching the bottom of the cup. This amount, it looks like so much in the shot glass, but when it goes into one of these cups, the amount just kind of flattens out. Now when you add ice, it gives the illusion. Okay, we've added ice. We're adding ice right now. Because the ice is taking up space, of course, it's gonna push up the liquid. And it's going to appear like there's a lot more liquid. Of course, this would happen. It's going to look like there's a lot more liquid than there really is. And my theory is that's where people get confused, why they think that you need to dump so much liquor into these cups. It's because of the ice. It throws things off. You put the ice in first, and then it gets confusing. So just know that you don't have that much liquor in there, and you don't need that much. If you have no ice, you'll know that you've achieved the optimal amounts when you've got like a centimeter. It's probably like a centimeter. I'm gonna pour it so we can see. This is if there's no ice, and then if there's ice, it'll raise it. It's probably gonna, I would say, like a good inch and a half with the ice in the cup, is where that line will tend to come, and your ice will be sitting above that liquor. So then this is where the mixology and cocktail making comes in. Okay, look at all of this empty space. Okay, look at it. It looks like it needs some company, this liquor. That's where all of this here, this is where the juice goes. The orange juice, the cranberry, the simple syrup, other liqueurs, like peach schnapps or apple flavor, watermelon flavor, which also, when you start adding those liqueurs, this amount starts to go up too. Okay, so, the amount of liquor. But here, this is where you get to play and be creative. And that's where the fun begins. So, at Mixed Sips University, we're going to have fun. We're going to play with all of these flavors, okay? You're not going to walk out knowing all the drinks because, to be honest, there are literally like tens of thousands of cocktails one could make. And it only makes sense if you've done combinatrix and taken any math class that does this. When you start combining all of those various options, you can make a lot of different combinations. So not only do you have a lot of options when it comes to liquor, because you can we've got the darks and the lights. So on the light, you can't even see that. On the light side, we've got vodka. Can we see that? No, my light is too bright, but you'll have to take my word for it. We've got vodka. We've got gin, tequila. Once we hit tequila, we're starting to venture into the darker liquors because you can have like a brown or yellow kind of a tequila. Then there's rum, whiskey, and cognac. Okay, so here alone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 liquor types that you can then combine. You can combine them with themselves, and then you can also combine them with all the different kind of juices, and then you have liqueurs, and then you have infusions like spices, you can syrups. It can get crazy, but it also allows it to be really fun, and you have this opportunity to kind of create any kind of flavor, profile, personality that you like. Think of the ways you can pair it with food. So that's what we're going to explore at Mixed Sips University. But I just wanted to touch on this very basic here, that it comes down to recipes and ratios. Once you realize this, the sky is literally the limit. You can come up with all kinds of really fun things and then throw your own fun name on it. But what I would like to do first is start with the basics, the standard things that you will probably come across at a restaurant, at a lounge, at a party. Feel really comfortable and confident with those, and then we'll go off and start making some really exciting things. So, welcome, class is in session. We're gonna get you ready for when we are out of quarantine officially, because we have a vaccine now, and God willing, sometime next year when it starts getting warm again, we'll all be out there back to business more like usual. So, see you next time.